Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where we are gonna do some hot takes. I asked you to give me your hot takes about makeup and the makeup community, and I'm also gonna be sharing a hot take as well. I'll start, it's okay, I'll take one for the team, I'll start and then you can follow. I did film this look. This is just a little reel that I filmed with one of the palettes that I just released with Oden. This is the Trick or Treat palette. I tried to do something just a little bit more neutral with this palette just to show that it's absolutely possible. This reel should be live and I will link it either down in the description box or in the pinned comment. Either of those two if you want to see how I created this eye look. But okay, let me start with saying just like, what is a hot take? A hot take is just basically... my dog in the background? Miss? So a hot take is a piece of commentary usually made in the moment, and it is made to attract attention. It's made to be a little bit provocative, like blue eyeshadow is ugly, which it isn't. It's amazing, but like that is kind of a hot take. And always I get some really fun ones, and I'll start with mine because this is something that I see a lot when I see people talking about different brands and they say that a brand is being bad or a brand is just being like afraid of negative reviews when they're taking someone off a PR list that gives negative reviews. PR is not something that you earn as a YouTuber when you reach a certain amount of subscribers. PR isn't something that just happens to everyone, and you don't need to suck up to a brand to get PR at all. But I think people forget sometimes that PR is a business transaction. Like, I'm getting PR, which means that I'm getting free stuff to make content with, and the content itself is what's producing money so that the content creator can pay the rent, pay their phone bill, and the brand is hoping that the content that I create with these products that they send out, that I'm gonna give a positive review, or at least, on Instagram especially, brands are hoping that people are gonna produce pictures and produce reels that are high quality enough so that they can share them on their social medias. So if you are being sent PR on Instagram and all you're producing is really, really bad swatch pictures that the brands do not want to share, yeah, they're probably gonna take you off PR because the transaction is being one-sided. You are getting something to create content with, but the brand is just not getting something in return. And it's the same with YouTube. If you are getting PR from a brand and you don't seem to like anything the brand is doing, and you might not like several collections in a row, why would they not take you off PR? I think a brand should take you off PR because then you're taking up the spot on the list from someone who might actually enjoy the makeup. And also remember, and we're gonna get to that because I saw a hot take here, there is a lot of creators that create purposefully negative things on YouTube because it gets you views. People want to watch other people rant. People want to watch creators diss or hate a product. It creates views, and views is the monetary value. The more views you get, the more money you get on YouTube. So try to keep that in mind sometimes when you're seeing really like crazy videos that are garnering a lot of views with their maybe super negative views. They might be made with the sole purpose to get views. Not saying that people are lying, I'm just saying I have seen throughout my 8 years on YouTube people creating that kind of content to get the views. And why would a brand send you PR hoping that you're gonna create something with it and all you do is create unnecessarily negative reviews for the sake of the views? That's not a smart business move for them because again, it's not like getting on a PR list is getting a tenure. Like, you can get kicked off at any moment, and I have been kicked off plenty of PR lists for various reasons, and it doesn't really matter that much. Sometimes the brand is just looking at your content and just like, this isn't exactly the kind of content that we want to be associated with, or she's not using our products the way that we would like our PR list to be using them, or she's not doing swatches that we feel that we can share, or she doesn't seem to like our products. And it is perfectly fine to take someone off PR if they don't like. Why would a brand send you free stuff if you don't like it? And why would you want to keep getting stuff from a brand you don't seem to like? I think that's the most mystifying thing for me. If you have been saying that you hate 2 or 3 releases in a row from a brand, why would you want to stay on that PR list? I think that's the most mystifying thing, because that tells me that you want the free makeup to create the content to get the views, but I don't get it. There are so many people that could be liking the brand. And again, I have said plenty of negative things or given plenty of negative reviews to a bunch of brands that I really, really enjoy, and I've not been taken off PR. Because they know that overall I like the brand. Overall I like the products. It doesn't mean that I love everything they do. I have given very poor reviews to products from Nomad Cosmetics, Kaleidos, Oden's Eye. I've even had products from them in like the worst of like that year. It doesn't mean that I hate the brand as a whole. So I think that sometimes when people are saying, oh, that brand is so fake, they took this person off PR because they left a negative review. And it's like, sometimes there could be more to it. And also, sometimes brand could just be like, this person isn't getting enough views. We need our products to be seen by more people. And that is also a very valid reason to take someone off PR. If you get 100 views on YouTube, they might want to switch you out for someone that gets 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 views, which I feel is perfectly fair. Again, it is a business transaction. Brands are not our friends. And speaking of that, let's go into the one that was, this one. Smaller beauty YouTubers are so much better and authentic. For me, I personally do not agree at all with this hot take. I have met plenty of bigger YouTubers with a lot of like authenticity, that truly loves makeup and that are not afraid to speak up if there's something that they do not like when it comes to makeup products. And likewise, I have encountered quite a few smaller YouTubers that I know for a fact have said some stuff that they don't 100% believe in, but they do it to stay on a PR list. They do it to push an affiliate code. They do it because they know it's going to get views, or they will beg their followers for money. And that's something that for me, I can't do that. And it's not like everybody can have a GoFundMe. Everybody can have something happen in their life where they're like, this is an emergency and people help them out. That happens all the time, especially here in the US, I've noticed. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with helping a creator out, but I think that sometimes there is a fine line. I'm just saying that the amount of followers you have on social media doesn't necessarily say much about how you are as a person. And with that saying, I'm not a perfect person. I've definitely done mistakes. I'm definitely not perfect. I'm definitely not always saying the right things. I'm just saying that the amount of followers you have has nothing to do with your character. I mean, your character doesn't exit the conversation as soon as you start getting followers. I think that the more followers you get might make it easier for you to think that you can get away with being a bad person if you already were a bad person to begin with. That's how I feel. I might be wrong. I would love to hear about this. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. I think that if you're already a good person, I don't think that necessarily getting a lot of followers will change that. But if you were already a little bit of a sketchy person, you might think that you don't need to hide as much, that you're not super authentic or that you're not a super great person the more you grow, thinking you can get away with anything. This one is a hot take that I 1,000,000% agree with. And honestly, it's shocking sometimes how the audience or the viewers or the participators on social media do not see the role that they're playing in the toxicity online. And this is viewers/hateful comments add at least just as much to the toxicity as some of the creators. And I agree with this. We talk about influencer entitlement, but there is also a big viewer entitlement sometimes. And I actually had a person leave a very negative comment about me on a friend's video. About me. And I remember this person because I blocked this person after she left several super negative comments on my videos. And I'm like, and I told her, this is not okay. This is rude. You shouldn't be talking to people like this. And instead of realizing that maybe she was in the wrong, she's now leaving comments on other videos saying that I was rude for telling her that you can't just tell people that your skin looks hideous and you should see a doctor. That's not something nice to say. I don't think so, at least. And maybe I'm wrong. And that's the thing, that the more followers you get, the less of a person people see you as. And they tell you absolutely everything under the sun. see a doctor, you're a horrible person, or I know what you thought, or I know what you meant, or I mean, someone told me to change my husband. Like, there is no end to the things that people can tell me. And I definitely think that sometimes also in these, I don't myself participate in it because I feel like sometimes it's so easy for these like gossiping forums or even Reddit forums to get out of hand. And I think that there is a bunch of really nice people on these forums, and they sometimes just get overwhelmed with a bunch of like toxicity and straight up bullying and people just using very unhelpful, vile language. And it is very much creating that toxic environment that viewers sometimes are blaming creators for doing. And it's like, you can't tell someone that they should stop being rude by being extremely rude to them. Like, sometimes you have to be the change. And this isn't everyone. I will say, I don't get a lot myself, a lot of hate comments on my channel. It happens. I would say I get about somewhere between maybe 5 to 10 a week, which I don't think is that much. I mean, do I wish it was 0? Obviously. I mean, personally, I don't see the whole point of like watching someone's content to then leave a comment that's just kind of vile and sometimes straight up bullying. I don't get that. Again, I'm not every person and I'm not perfect, so I'm not here to tell other people how to live their lives. But yeah, I do sometimes find it a little bit odd how people will try and tell me that I'm a bad person in the most vile, heinous way. And it's like, I don't know what to say. And with that being said, of course, like, there are bad creators and good creators, and there are bad viewers and good viewers, and there are bad bus drivers and good bus drivers. It just comes with the territory, I guess. But I think that overall, I would like to think that most people are overall just good people that want the best for people around them. Is that naive? Maybe. But I'd rather be naive than cynical. This is an interesting one because I see this a lot. Calling someone trashy is way trashier than dramatic lashes, heavy makeup, etc. And yeah, calling someone trashy is trashy. And I genuinely do not understand the need to tell someone that their appearance doesn't appeal to you. It's like, that's okay. They're not trying to like attract you, obviously. You're not, it's okay. You can just part in the night and nobody has to talk about this anymore. It's the same as guys, you know, guys telling females that, oh, I don't think you're attractive enough. And it's okay. I don't think you're attractive enough either. Like, listen, I'm not trying to attract you, obviously. And who's out here trying to impress boys? Boys are easier to impress. I'm trying to impress women. When they give me compliment, that means something. Boys, who cares? So easy to impress. But yeah, definitely don't understand. And also the backhanded compliments that you sometimes get, like, oh, you're so brave for looking like that. It's like, for looking like what? Fun? I guess I am brave for looking like fun. Makeup artists can be kind of pretentious on how to do makeup correctly. I would say some, probably. I'm trying to think, is that bad? Okay, so here's the thing. I don't watch a lot of makeup artists here on YouTube, and I think it is because a lot of makeup artists will do the kind of looks that the clients are asking for. Nobody's asking for, maybe this is a little bit more neutral and dramatic, but nobody's asking for blue eyeshadow. I know, I used to freelance as a makeup artist. Trust me, nobody was asking for blue eyeshadow. Not a single soul. Everybody wanted a natural makeup, and then they show me like one of the Kardashians, and I'm like, okay. So I get that makeup artists are just trying to recreate the kind of looks that their clients are asking for, but it's not the kind of looks that interest me. So I will say I don't know necessarily if I have an opinion about this. I would love, if you watch a lot of makeup artists, please let me know, what do you think? Do you think that they can be pretentious about like how they're giving tips and tricks? I know in the beginning of YouTube, there was this big thing where makeup artists, or in the beginning of YouTube, but in the beginning of the makeup community, like just, you know, happy clowns like me just out here doing makeup because it's fun. I know there was a big, almost like a tear between just, you know, happy to be doing stuff like me. And even though I have been working as a makeup artist, I do not have the official training as a makeup artist because you don't need that to work as a makeup artist in Sweden. And I'm not interested in working as a makeup artist anymore because everybody wants to look like a Kardashian. It's just not the kind of makeup I want to do. But there definitely was a lot of makeup artists that were like, oh, look at these amateurs just coming in and trying to make a career of just being an amateur. I don't think it's like that anymore though. What do you think? This I would love to hear your thoughts about. Lip oils are overrated. I need color payoff and longevity with my lip products. I mean, if you want color payoff and longevity, yeah, lip oil is definitely not for you. I personally really like lip oils because I think they're so just sleepy and beautiful on the lips. I'm wearing one of my glosses with Oden today. And what I really like about these is that they feel balmy. I have figured out that when it comes to lip products, I kind of just want something comfortable. That's something that comes with a certain age. I don't mind reapplying, and I actually don't mind something being a little sheer. But yeah, I think that with lip products, and this is one of the things that I really like with where the makeup community is right now, there's literally something for everyone. Everyone can find something. And for me, my least favorite type of like glossy lips are super opaque lip glosses that you cannot sheer out. That's more like a lip lacquer. I don't mind a pigmented gloss if I can sheer it out, but that's one of my least favorite lip like things to have on my lips. So I find this very fascinating. And I also heard another YouTuber not too long ago saying that they didn't like a clear gloss because they wanted color on their lips. And I'm like, ooh, a clear gloss. Not a clear gloss, but I want a transparent gloss. I'm like, ooh, tell me more. So I just find it so fascinating and also so nice because I remember when we were in the like knee deep in liquid lipsticks and I was just like, where's like the sheer bullet lipsticks? Where are you hiding those? In the back? I'll go get them for you. This one is an interesting one because I see a lot of complaints about this when it comes to indie like makeup brands, and it is indie brands shouldn't be expected to function like Amazon. People need sleep. And I am 100% agree. And also like, isn't like Amazon workers known for being mistreated? So why would you want that to spread to every company? Like, beyond baffling. People want their products now. They get upset when shipping takes a week, and like sometimes USPS are slow. And also people get very upset to pay for shipping, but like somebody has to pay for shipping. It's not like Amazon gets free shipping. You're paying for it, but just in another way. There's another way that you're paying for free shipping. If you want indie brands to do really fast shipping, they're gonna have to hire someone else. If you want them to do free shipping, they're gonna have to up the price of their products. One way or another, you are paying for it. And it's just like, I think that sometimes we forget that like free doesn't mean free. It means that they hid the cost somewhere else. Yeah, it's really hard sometimes to have really fast shipping when you're a small makeup brand, especially with USPS. And also when you are making a purchase from an indie brand, you're usually choosing what kind of shipping you want. And if you want faster shipping, you're gonna have to pay for faster shipping because that cost that you're paying, that cost directly goes to USPS. Like the brand doesn't get to keep that cost. It just swoops away to USPS. And as soon as the brand has packaged your product and given it to USPS, like there's nothing more that I can, like I say myself as an indie brand owner, there's nothing I can do about it. When USPS has the package, it's just out there in the world. I have no say whatsoever about it anymore, and they will deal with it according to the shipping that you chose. So sometimes it is really hard because I think a lot of people think that indie brands have more say in the shipping that they do, but we really don't. We're just mindful slaves to USPS as everyone else, and it's rough sometimes. This is an interesting one. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. If everyone on YouTube raves about the same brands, it makes me question if the reviews are honest. How do I feel about that? As a reviewer, I might feel differently because I am a reviewer. But if I see a lot of people raving about a brand that I have not tried or raving about a product that I have not tried, it makes me curious. I'm like, I want to see if that's true or not. Personally, if I see a lot of people raving about a product and it's only the people that get it in PR that rave about it and not the people who bought it don't like it, that might make me a little bit like question it. But also sometimes it's just because a brand is like doing really nice things. Fun, innovative, high quality products that are just really fun to work with. I know that there are some darling brands right now in the beauty community, both on the indie side and on the mainstream side, The people just really seem to love everything that they do. And sometimes it's just because they do really nice things. But then, of course, like no brand can appeal to everyone. And that's why I always say it's so important to find a reviewer that has the same preferences as you and that has like the same, I don't want to say style as you, but like seems to like the same things as you. Because if there's a bunch of my friends even that hate some of my favorite products, so if they seem to love something, I might not that I don't believe them, but I might not believe that it's going to work for me, because we don't usually love the same things. But for me, if I see a lot of people rave about the same things, it makes me curious. But that could also be because I'm a reviewer and it makes me go like, huh, I should try that. Smaller influencers work harder than big influencers, 500,000K plus. That's what it seems like. I can only speak for myself. I don't have 500,000, but I can only speak for myself as someone, again, I've been on YouTube for 8 years. It's been a journey. And I can tell you that when you begin social media, it doesn't really take that much time. Like you film something, you upload something, and that's about it. And then the more you grow, the more comments you get, the more mails you get, and then you grow even more, and you need to do tax documents, and you need to talk to your accountant, and then you need to review some contracts and stuff, and maybe you're doing like freelancing as like a consultant behind the scenes, and you're having meetings, and like the more you grow or the more you make this a job, the more time it takes. And I will say that I work so many more hours a week today producing 4 to 5 videos a week than I did 6 years ago. Like it takes me so much more time because there are so many other things behind the scenes as well. Like during tax season, it's just madness. Like there's so many things that needs to be done. And also like right now, me doing a collab, of course, that's an extreme privilege and I'm so grateful to be able to do that. But that's so much work that goes into that. The meetings, the mails, the testing and swatching and all the notes you take, like all of that, that's so much time. And also a lot of the bigger YouTubers, they might be running a brand on the side. And I will say, do I spend as much time on Singe as I do on my YouTube channel? No, I do not. But it is starting to get there, and I do spend at least 1 or 2 hours every day working on Singe as well, which is stuff that you don't really get to see. And back in the day, those 2 hours could have been used filming and editing another video. And that's just not the case anymore. For good and bad. For good and bad. All chapters or all stages of being an influencer, all stages of being a creator, I should say, definitely comes with some pros and some cons, and all of it has its charm. But I definitely understand why some people, you know, they get there and then they're like, whoa, this isn't for me. They just want the creative process. And listen, I totally understand that. Some influencers pretend to like every product they're trying. I think it's very important sometimes with the language that we use online to differentiate between I think and I know. Because we don't know people online and we don't 100% know. Maybe they just genuinely think that I'm gonna be honest with you, most makeup that's released nowadays, it's pretty good. Do you remember like drugstore makeup 15 years ago? It was rough out there. Nowadays, most makeup is nice. So I don't blame people for liking most makeup because I'm gonna be honest, most makeup is pretty nice, and the things that like don't work out is either because they're gimmicky or they weren't meant for my preferences or like where I live or my skin type or blah blah blah, or the undertones, stuff like that just doesn't work out for me. And then in the rare occasion, it's just honestly a crappy product in my opinion. And it happens, but I definitely don't think it's like as common as it used to be. And I think it's important and this is something I sometimes I wish that people would like use different language and say this is my opinion and this is what I believe instead of saying this is the truth, because we don't know people, we don't know what's in their heart. Maybe they genuinely do like everything they're trying. Like, what do I know? I don't know people. I know for myself that I don't like everything I try, but I also know for myself that I kind of do end up thinking that most products I try are at least not bad quality. Because there's not that many products being released now that are like, wow, that's trash, but I also think that if I were to like pick up some products that I really liked 8 years ago when I started YouTube, not all of those has like aged gracefully. Some of those formulas feel a little clunky, they feel a little aged. Some of them have like improved so much over the years. Maybe some people have a really hard time saying as well, like, I think this is bad, but they might use language such as this isn't my favorite, or I think it's okay, but I have others better than it. So it's also like what kind of language you prefer. And I also think that that comes from some people being very verbal when they hate something, like saying this is absolute trash, I hate it, this is the worst thing I've tried this year. And not everyone speaks in those terms, but I think it's very important to not put words in other people's mouth. I personally, one of my absolute pet peeves is when people tell me what my intent was. You weren't there. You don't know what my intent was. And it's one of those things that I personally, like, it makes me go, like, I like shrivel up to a little raisin. I'm like, meh, you don't know my intent. So I really hate when people tell me, oh, this is what you really meant, or this is what you really thought, or this is what really happened. Like you were there, or like you were in my head. So I don't know. I keep thinking, do I watch any YouTubers who seems to like everything they try? I don't think so. Because now that I'm thinking of it, I'm like, it's time for me to explore and find even more people to watch, probably. Do you have any people that you think I should be watching? Let me know about that in the comments as well. I'm always open for suggestions. I hope you're having an amazing day. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next video. That's gonna be fairly soon. Bye!